What up, YouTube? Big Lou tapping back in with What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. Baby, baby. First time coming to the channel at What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. It'd be highly appreciated if you sub, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, peoples, gente, camaradas, comrades, folks, associates, associos, amigos, panas, buddies, pals. Also, feel free to comment. I respond back to all comments. Um, so this is continuing from the thumbnail, as you can see. It's continuing baseball profiles um, of one Dale Murphy, right? He's born Dale Brian Murphy, March 12th, 1956, in Portland, Oregon. He made his debut. He bats right, throws right. He made his debut for the Atlanta Braves on September 13th, 1976, and his last appearance was for the Colorado Rockies, May 21st, 1993. His career major league statistics are a 265 lifetime batting average with 2,111 hits and 398 home runs, too shy of 400, with 1,266 runs batted in. Played from the Atlanta Braves from 1976 to 1990, the Phillies from 90 to 92, and the Rockies in 93. Here's some of his career highlights. He's a 7-time All-Star, 1980, 1982, 1983, 84, 85, 86, and 87. He's a 2-time NL MVP, 82 and 83. 5-time Golden Glove Award, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 86. 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 82, 83, 84, and 85. He won the Roberto Clemente Award in 1988. He's a 2-time NL home run leader, 1984 and 85. He's a 2-time NL RBI leader, 82 and 83. His number 3 is retired by the Braves, and he's in the Braves Hall of Fame. Like I mentioned, he's born in Oregon in 1956 to the parents of Charles and Betty. He had a sister, Sue, and Murphy played for the American Legion Baseball and attended Woodrow High School. So he began his career in 1976 in the majors with a 19-game stint catching with the Atlanta Braves. He appeared in only 18 games the following season. In 1978, Murphy played first base mostly at the plate. He had a 226 batting average, though he also showed hints of his future power by hitting 23 home runs. He switched to outfield in 1980, a move that would help initiate a decade of highly productive play in the National League, right? Beginning in left field, he soon switched to center field, the position at which he would find his greatest success. By 82, the most decorated year of Murphy's career, the former catcher had transformed himself into an all-star MVP outfielder who appeared in each of Atlanta's 162 games. In 82, spending time at each of the 3 outfield positions, he won the first of 5 consecutive Golden Gloves, as well as first MVP award by a Brave since '57, when Hank Aaron won it, when it was then the Milwaukee Braves. In 82, they made it to the National League Championship game where they were eliminated by the Cardinals. The league's most valuable player failed to translate his regular season success into October success, hitting safely only 3 times and scoring 1 run. Murphy rebounded postseason sweep with another MVP award in 83. This time period ultimately proved the high water era of Murphy's career. Each year during the 4-season span from 82 to 86, he won a Golden Glove, appeared in the All-Star game, and placed in the top 10 in MVP voting. In 88, However, despite being voted to what would be his final All-Star appearance, Murphy's production began an inexorable slide downward. Murphy saw his batting average free fall from 295 and 87 to 226 and 88. Only once more in 1991 would Murphy bat above 250. Once a consistent source of power at the plate, he never again hit 25 home runs or more in a season. During his 15th season with the Braves, Murphy was traded to Philly on August 3rd, 1990. So Murphy is never, despite his reputation as a five-tool player, superstar, and multiple MVP awards, Murphy has not been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He first appeared on the writers' ballot in '99. He has failed to gain election, joining Barry Bonds, Roger Maris, and Juan Gonzalez as the only Hall of Fame eligible recipients of multiple MVP awards not in the Hall. His failed candidacy has drawn particular notice due to his reputation as a clean living player whose career was immediately followed by baseball scandal-plagued steroids era. Baseball writer Rob Nair feels that the former MVP candidacy has been hurt by a career that got a late start and suffered an early end. Stuart Miller, baseball writer for the New York Times, also notes that the sharp decline in production that plagued Murphy after the age of 31 and arguing players who were great for a short time did not receive much Hall of Fame recognition. Finding one of baseball's best players in the 80s to be undervalued, Miller nevertheless writes that the Brave great is typically considered a close but no guy. Statistician Bill James says of Murphy, it certainly wouldn't offend me to have him in the Hall of Fame. I just wouldn't advocate it. That sucks. But he has, 2 home runs shy of 400. If he would have had 102 more home runs, though, he would have been in the Hall of Fame for sure. Seems like the 500 home runs and the 3,000 hits get you in automatically. It seems like, you know what I mean. Now the other guy on this profile, who growing up as a kid, you see a lot of highlights of him. He'd be in different commercials, Kellogg's, things like that. I didn't really care for him as a player because I seen him and Jose Akendo one time with I believe it was Will Clark. They kind of jumped on him and he got punched from behind. You know what I mean? So he's born Osborne Earl Smith on December 26, 1954. As we know, he was American baseball player of the Major League Baseball League, right? He was nicknamed the Wizard of Oz. He played shortstop for the San Diego Padres and the Cardinals in professional baseball. Winning the National League Golden Glove Award for defensive play at shortstop for 13 consecutive seasons. A 15-time All-Star, Smith accumulated 2,460 hits and 580 stolen bases during his career, and won the National League Silver Slugger Award as the best hitter at shortstop in '87. He was selected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility in 2002. He was also elected to St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame inaugural class of 2014. So he's born in Mobile, Alabama. He's a switch hitter. He throws right. He made his debut on April 7, 1978 for the San Diego Padres. And his last game was September 29, 1996 for the St. Louis Cardinals. His career statistics are batting average 262. He has 2,460 hits. He hit 28 home runs. He batted in 793 RBIs and 580 stolen bases. He played for the San Diego Padres from 1978 to 1981. And then the Cardinals from 82 to 96. I believe they traded him for, if I remember correctly, I believe it was Gary Templeton went from the Cardinals to the Padres in that trade for Ozzie Smith. He's a 15-time All-Star, 1981 through 1992, 94, 95, and 96. So from 81 to 96, he just didn't make the All-Star in 1993. He's a World Series champion in 1982. He's an NLCS MVP in 1985. He's a 13-time Golden Glove Award winner from 1980 to 1992 straight. Silver Slugger in 1987. He won the Roberto Clemente Award in 1995. St. Louis Cardinals #1 retired, and he's in the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. Also in Major Cooperstown Baseball's Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2002 with almost 92% of the vote. Like I mentioned, he was born in Mobile, Alabama, but his family later moved to Watts, LA, where he was when he was 6 years old. He participated in a lot of athletic activities, and he developed quick reflexes. He went on to play baseball at Los Angeles Locke High School and then at California Polytechnic State University, San Luis Obispo. Drafted as an amateur player by the Padres, Smith made his major league debut in '78. In conflict with Padres owners developed for Smith, Smith was pursued by the Cardinals manager Whitey Herzog, who flew to San Diego to convince Smith he'd be appreciated, valuable and core component of the Cardinals, and to waive the no-trade clause of his contract so that he could be traded and join the Cardinals. Herzog overtured to Smith work. Upon joining the Cardinals, Smith helped the team win the '82 World Series. 3 years later, his game-winning home run during Game 5 of the '85 National League Championship Series broadcaster Jack Bucks, go crazy, folks, play-by-play call. Despite a rotator cuff injury during the '85 season, Smith posted career-high numbers in multiple offensive categories in '87. Smith continued to earn Golden Gloves and All-Star appearances annually until '93. During the '95 season, Smith had shoulder surgery and was out nearly 3 months. After tension with his new manager, Tony La Russa, developed in '96, Smith retired at season's end, and his uniform has been retired subsequently. So he's a second child of Clovey and Marvella Smith's children, 5 boys and 1 girl. His father worked as a sandblaster at Brooklyn Air Force Base. When Smith was 6, his family moved to Watts section of LA. His father became a delivery truck driver for Safeway stores, while his mother became an aide at a nursing home. So when not at the YMCA or playing sports, Smith sometimes went with friends to the neighborhood lumber yards, springboarding off inner tubes and doing flips into sawdust piles. Imagine that. Smith was teammates of future National Basketball Association player Marcus Johnson on the basketball team, and a teammate of future fellow Hall of Famer Eddie Murray on the baseball side. After high school, Smith attended Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in '74 on a partial academic scholarship and managed to walk on to the baseball team. So Padres, Smith was playing semi-pro baseball in Clarinda, Iowa, when in June '76 he was selected in the 7th round of the amateur entry draft by the Detroit Tigers. Parties could not agree on a contract. Smith wanted a $10,000 signing bonus, while the Tigers offered him $8,500, $40,000 today. In today's money, Smith returned to Cal Poly for his senior year. Then in '77 draft was selected in the 4th round by the San Diego Padres. Smith began 1978 as a non-roster invitee to the San Diego Padres spring training camp in Yuma, Arizona. Smith credited Padres manager Alvin Dark for giving him confidence by telling reporters a shortstop job was Smith's until he proven he can't handle it. Even though Dark was fired in the middle of training camp, Smith made his Major League Baseball debut in April of '78. It didn't take long for Smith to earn recognition in the major leagues, making what some considered his greatest fielding play only 10 games into his rookie season. The Padres hosted the Atlanta Braves on April 20th, 1978. and with two out in the top of the fourth inning, Atlanta's Jeff Burrows hits a ground ball up the middle. Smith described the play by saying he hit a ball back up the middle that everyone thought was going into center field. I instinctively broke to my left and dove behind second. As I was in the air, the ball took a bad hop and roamed right behind me, but I was able to catch it with my bare hand. I hit the ground, bounced back up, and threw Burrows out at first. During a road trip to Houston later in the season, Smith met a part-time usherette at the Astrodome named Denise while making his way to the team bus outside the stadium. The couple developed a relationship that was sometimes long distance in nature and eventually decided to marry. Okay. So the trade, Smith was having problems with Padres manager. The St. Louis Cardinals also found themselves unhappy with their shortstop, Gary Templeton. Templeton's relationship with Cardinal Nation had become increasingly strained and finally came to an head during a game at Busch Stadium on August 26, 1981, when after being heckled for not running out a ground ball, he made obscene gestures at fans. He was physically pulled off the field by Whitey Herzog, the manager. So they pick up Ozzie in the trade for Gary Templeton. Templeton goes from the Cardinals to the Padres, and Ozzie goes from the Padres to the Cardinals. The Cardinals from 82 to 84. On September 10, 81, Padres traded Smith, Steve Mura, and a player to be named later to the Cardinals for Templeton, Sixto Lescano, and a player to be named later. The teams completed the trade on September 19, 82, with the Padres sending Al Olmsted to the Cardinals and the Cardinals sending Luis De Leon to the Padres. As the 82 season got underway, Herzog's newly assembled team won 12 games in a row during the month of April and finished the season atop the National League East Division. Herzog would later say of Smith's contributions, if he saved 2 runs a game on defense, which he did many a night, it seemed to me that it was just as valuable to the team as a player who drove in 2 runs a game of offense. So the Cardinals faced the Braves in the best of 5 82 National League Championship Series, the NLCS. In Game 1, Smith drove in the series' first run by hitting a sacrifice fly that scored Willie McGee. Ultimately going 5 for 9 at St. Louis 3-game series sweep. Just as Herzog had predicted in December, Smith just found himself as the team starting shortstop in the best of 7 82 World Series against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now the Brewers are in the National League, but at this time, 1982, they were in the American League. When St. Louis was trailing 3-1 with 1 out in the 6th inning of Game 7, Smith started a rally with a base hit to left field, eventually scoring the first of the team's 3 runs that inning. The Cardinals scored 2 more runs in the 8th inning for a 6-3 win and the championship. So he got his ring there. In 84, his wrist was broken by a pitch that he batted against the Padres. He returned from the disabled list after a month, but his return to the lineup was not enough to propel the Cardinals to a postseason berth. 85, Smith amassed a 276 batting average, 31 stolen bases, and 591 assists in the outfield. The Cardinals as a team won 101 games during the season and earned another postseason berth, facing the Dodgers in the now best of 7 NLCS. A split of the first 4 games set the stage for Game 5 at Busch Stadium. With the score tied at 2 runs apiece in the bottom of the 9th inning, Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda called upon closer Tom Naden Fuhrer to pitch. Smith batted left-handed against Naden Fuhrer with 1 out. Smith, who had never hit a home run in his previous 2,967 left-handed major league at-bats, pulled an inside fastball down the right field line for a walk-off home run, ending the game 5 in a 3-2 Cardinals win. Smith said, "I was trying to get an extra base hit and got into scoring position. Fortunately, I was able to get the ball up. The home run not only broadcaster Jack Buck's Go Crazy Folks play-by-play call, but was also later voted the greatest moment in Busch Stadium history by a Cardinals fan." After Smith's teammate Jack Clark hit a late inning home run of his own in Game 6 to defeat the Dodgers, the Cardinals moved on to face Kansas City Royals in the '85 World Series. Once again, sports writers were quick to draw attention to Smith's outstanding defensive play instead of his 2 for 23 effort at the plate. After the Cardinals took a 3-2 advantage, a controversial Game 6 call by umpire Don Denkinger overshadowed the remainder of the series, which the Royals won in 7 games. '87-'90. After hitting in either the second or eighth spot in the batting order for most of his time in St. Louis, Herzog made Smith the number 2 hitter full time during the '87 season. Over the course of the year, Smith had a batting average of .303, 43 stolen bases, 75 RBIs, and 104 runs scored, and 40 doubles, good enough to earn him the Silver Slugger Award at shortstop. In addition to winning the Golden Glove Award at shortstop for the 8th consecutive time, Smith posted a career-high on-base percentage of .392. Smith was also the leading vote getter in the '87 All-Star Game. The Cardinals earned a postseason berth with 95 wins and subsequently faced the Giants in the '87 National League Championship Series. Smith contributed a triple during the series that the Cardinals won the contest in 7 games. '87 World Series matched the Cardinals against the American League Minnesota Twins. The home team won every game of the contest as Minnesota won the series. In 28 at-bats during the series, Smith scored 3 runs and had 2 RBIs. Smith finished second in MVP balloting to Andre Dawson, who had played on the last-place Chicago Cubs, largely because Smith and teammate Jack Clark split the first-place vote. Following the '87 season, Smith was awarded the largest contract in NL history at $2.34 million. While the team did not see the postseason for the remainder of the decade, Smith continued to rack up all-star appearances and Golden Gloves, combined with the attention that he received from his contract. He made the '88 cover of GQ magazine. Smith was witness to change within the Cardinal organization when owner Gussie Busch died in '89 and Herzog quit as manager during the '90 season. So there it is. That ends the decade of the '80s for Ozzie Smith, the Wizard. Smith is a father to 3 kids from his marriage to former wife Denise, sons Nico and Dustin, and daughter Tareen. Nico cracked the top 10 finalists of the 2005 edition of American Idol. In 2012, Smith made news headlines again when he sold all of his gold gloves at auction together for more than $500,000. Smith lives in and remains visible figure around St. Louis, making variety appearances like playing the role of the Wizard in the St. Louis Municipal Opera's summer 2001 production of The Wizard of Oz. So there it is, folks. Ozzie Smith, the Wizard, 13-time Golden Glove, Silver Slugger Award winner in '87. Went to 3 World Series, won 1. He's got 1 ring. And played for the Padres and the Cardinals. So there's 2 more of my '80s profiles of baseball players. With that being said, Big Lou tapping out. Appreciate everybody that came and watched in, that stopped in for a minute or 2. And I appreciate everybody that will watch this video. Big Lou tapping out.